You know who loves Izotope? This guy. Everyone here at Ruinous Media can't get enough of Izotope's intuitively designed plugins for audio restoration, mixing, and mastering. This year, make a resolution to yourself to say goodbye to bad audio and hello to super clear, wide, dynamic, clean audio using Izotope RX11 and the new Ozone 12. Master every track's potential with their complete 20-tool suite. Go to izotope.com and use code FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. That's FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. And go to izotope.com. That spelling is izotope.com. I'd like to welcome our newest sponsor, Schecter Guitars. This holiday season, go over to schecterguitars.com and see what high-quality goodies they have waiting there for you. Premium feel and unbeatable price. See why guitarists like Isaac Brock from Modest Mouse, Robert Smith from The Cure, and Ernie C. from Body Count all love Schecter Guitars. A wide variety of styles and builds with high-end components and affordable prices for touring guitarists. Built to last. Go treat yourself and try something new you've always wanted to check out. Schecter Guitars has it all. Hey, what's happening? Before we jump into the show, I wanted to see if you had any music on a hard drive. You have a band, you have a project, and you want to self-release your own music. Well, there's an easy way to do it. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate and go get your music up on all the streamers. You keep 100% of your royalties, and you can get 30% off by using this code. It's a great, easy way to get your music up on the streamers and share it with your fans, your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, everybody. Everyone wants to hear it. But go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate, HYPHENATE, and send me the link. I want to hear it too. Send your mom the link. Send your dog the link. They all want to hear it too. Welcome to Hyphenate Halftime. This is our show for Monday, January 26th. Mr. Aaron Farley, how do you do this Monday?
Welcome. It's my first day that I don't have an extreme head cold in like 6 days.
Welcome to the side of not being sick.
Yeah, you were sick 2 weeks ago, right?
Man, I was sick.
You guys all got it, right?
Yeah, what was the middle of December? Kind of on through end of the
You guys got the flu though.
For sure flu.
Yeah.
Yes, we had the for sure flus. It was tough. And I feel like it's just ongoing. We had a window where the kids weren't sick. And then I'm looking at them very suspiciously lately. I'm like, is that cough turning into something? Is that sniffles? What is that? What's happening next?
It's crazy right now.
I don't know how. You got to celebrate the times in between the sicknesses. Best I can figure.
Yeah, all the kids at school had just like chapped nose, like nose to chin, and just like Mr. Farley, look.
Can I whisper something in your ear? Hold on, let me cough in your face real quick, and then I'll.
Yeah, can I shake your hand?
Oh God, no.
I'm like, oh my God, you guys all sound like a 70-year-old.
Yes.
That's horrible. And the big, like I think last year I was much more sensitive and I was like, okay, guys, let's, and I hear a cough and I'm like, do not come close to me.
Don't do it.
Do not come near me.
You can't afford
like,
this.
what? No. I'm like, no. Stay at your table.
6 feet distancing.
This is why we have voices so we can talk to each other from far away. We do not. I'm much less sensitive this year than I was last year. Oh my God, I got so emotionally.
12 months toughened you up.
You know what it is? I think that because I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been talking to my advisor about this too. Because if at first I was like, oh my God, am I already getting like the tough skin where I'm like, I don't care, man, just go do whatever, like. And then we were just talking about it, and I'm like, no, you know what I think it was is that last year I was not used to dealing with
insane people,
but childhood emotions coming from children, like emotions coming from children, like other than when they're your own kids, It's a totally different thing, obviously, because you're with them all the time and you have to take everything that they say and you have to help work them out, all that stuff. But when they're these kids, I'm like, oh my God, they're having these like emotional things, and you're dealing with kids that are coming from very broken homes, if not, homeless or
foster system,
foster system, and these things where you're like, oh, what's going on with these kids? And then you look up their file and you go, oh my God, I can't believe
they're doing
they're
as
even
good as
at
they're
school.
doing. Yes.
This is crazy.
They get points
right?
for showing up. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so there was a lot of that. And so there's a lot of kind of emotions like, oh my God, I have to this and that.
Oh, but that's the sensitivity. You're treating everyone sensitive with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh my God, it's like emotional overload kind of. But what I realized too is that I was like, oh my God, there's just this heaviness to everything. And I was kind of coming at it as an adult. Right. As if they were adults. Right.
Oh,
like if this stuff was happening to an adult,
right,
this would be insane. Right. Like, but there's a malleability of kids, especially with emotions. And this is obviously not when things are going the worst, because when things are going the worst, that's a whole different thing. But what I was doing is that when they come in with that, and it's just like, I'm having a horrible day and this person doesn't like me and I was like taking it all in. Mm-hmm. And then I would just be like, okay, so I'm going to try to fix this and come at them the next day. I'm like, okay, so I've got a plan. And they'd be like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And I'm like, the thing when you came in and you know, like you can't even, you and your best friend are in this fight and you can't even do it. Cool. And I know you guys hang out and they're like, oh, that was just third period. It wasn't anything. And I've gotten way more now being able to siphon that stuff, like to notice that stuff coming at me and be able to be like, this is just one of those things.
Would you say it's just one of those days?
It works so much better. It's just one of those days. Is this the second weekend, or is this the second week we've used that?
I think this is an ongoing. Ongoing condition that happens.
You need to get your thing back, your pad back, and get Fred Durst. Just see if saying, I can find it's just one of those days. I'll get a beard and a cowboy hat or whatever he wears now.
I'm writing it down. It's going in.
All right. Just one of the Limp Bizkit soundboard. Siri, can you please pull up a Limp Bizkit soundboard? Thank you.
Thank you, AI. Oh man, that's wild. I mean, just meaning that the amount of emotions, even if it's heavy stuff and real stuff, that you feel like they transfer emotional states much more fluidly. And in a real way,
I've noticed
they're not processing it. It's just blowing through them like a tumbleweed. Like, oh, okay. Sometimes totally. For 15 minutes it'll just be gnarly, and then it'll just go back to being fine. Is that?
Yeah, okay. And I think what I've noticed is that even after only a year, I'm older, so sure. It's like being 50. I think like if I was in my mid 20s, this job would be you did this job in your mid 20s.
Well, I was a substitute.
This is like
a long-term sub,
but still like you were around middle school kids and right? Was it middle school?
No, high school. It was
middle school.
High
right?
school mostly. Yeah, okay. It was at Lincoln High School and then Southgate High School from.
That's right.
Yeah, 20.
I mean, you were young.
We didn't call it 20s, but what do we call it? 2005 to 2007. Yeah. I was like 25. No, what do you call it? 20. No. God. Yeah. Yep.
History doesn't. I mean, or time doesn't exist anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
I had kids.
But being in my 50s,
I had all kinds of stuff. It's gnarly. When I was a kid, but I was mostly hungover and trying to deal with my own life, trying to figure out how to go on tour and write songs and book shows at like art gallery basements.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just looking at your clock. You're looking at your watch, kind of, and being like, I don't know, man. I got stuff to do tonight.
Yeah.
No, but I think
sucks to be. I tried my best, but that doesn't really. That's like rule number 1 or something. It's like they don't let the kids catch you trying. Like they could see you.
Look, man. Like, oh, you try your best.
This kid's trying, man. Or this teacher's trying. We're just gonna attack them. Like, okay.
Yeah. You're probably ahead of a lot of people if you're
trying.
If you're just being like, I'm going to try my best. But I think what I noticed is that I was able to parse out like when something would come in and I'm like, nope, this one's serious. That I could see it. And where everything last year, like everything that came in through my eyes was like, oh my God, this could go so wrong. This is the worst thing ever. And really, you're looking at it from adult eyes, because if two adults are sitting across the table from each other and it gets to the point to where they're starting to argue, to where someone kind of softly threatens somebody, but it's not a real threat, but it's like a, do you want to go outside kind of situation. That if two adults are doing that, you're in for trouble, right? Like it's going to be like, it doesn't usually in most situations, adults have learned to keep themselves away from fighting for the most part.
Right.
Like at work, right?
For the most part, yes.
Like maybe not after a couple beers at a sports thing or whatever
yeah.
But this is more like, this is kind of like being at after a couple beers at a sports thing.
All day long.
Like if everybody in the room had a couple beers at a sports thing, and it's just kind of up for grabs.
Well, I definitely remember that when our kids were real little, that 2, 3, 4 years old phase. Not, I mean, you know, but it was definitely you're hanging out with your drunk buddy all the time. Hey man, totally. Do you just need to sit down? I think you just need some water. I think we're just gonna sit down here and drink some water. What? I just need. The kid over there has a shoe. Like, okay, I know he's got a shoe, buddy.
Just can't do it.
It's not your shoe.
Do it.
It's just he's allowed to have a shoe. That's his shoe he has. Don't worry about it.
Or like when the little kids just start pushing each other.
Oh well, yeah,
it's the best. Like that's the first. But so I feel like that. This is what I was talking to my we were talking last week about this, and I was like, it kind of weirded me out first because I was like, whoa, am I starting to get too
frosty out
like
here.
This stuff isn't bothering me? And she's like, no, you're fine. This is you start noticing patterns. And so then the patterns, you put certain patterns in buckets, and you just have to step back from the patterns and make sure, like, okay, am I seeing the patterns right, or are there times where I am actually missing things because I'm starting to just like be like, whatever, they're kids, because you can't do that. Because I still get, there's a lot of kids on different spectrums, and there's a lot of kids in different stages of life, and different, like, there's kids that are 6 feet tall, and there's kids that are 3.5 feet tall. No joke.
That's wild. And this is middle school.
I have a couple of kids that are like 4 feet tall. And they're in class with kids that are 6 feet tall.
I mean, this is kind of our sports world right
crazy.
now. We're in the 14 and under soccer division, and literally, you have the 6 foot tall kids with the shoulders and a mustache. Remember that was a big one. Like our kid went up against one guy and kind of knocked him, kind of body checked him, that he didn't get a foul called on him, but it was, there were contact, Yeah. And he's like, Dad, that guy knocked over had a mustache. I was like, okay, all right, just go easy.
Is this basketball?
Go easy out there. No, soccer.
Oh, in soccer.
Yeah. So but that 14, from 12 to 12, 13, 14, that
it's
growth
crazy, man.
is crazy. Yeah. Yep. Well, I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad this has been such a crazy week. I was just pummeling my brain with ice and all this stuff, and I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it, but I also want to talk, but it's also it's just horrific, and it really just every week feels more and more dour. I do my best, to shut it out and do what I can, but God damn it, this is fucking
at least some politicians seem like they're finally starting to figure out how to try to push back or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel the same way. I feel like, that when people say they're surprised, I'm like, how are you surprised? I get that the how fast it happened is definitely a surprise, but this is exactly what they said was going to happen. And it's exactly what all of the lefty
critics said,
quote unquote, crazy people have been like. They've been like, dude, this guy's going to start a private army. With these Proud Boys and everybody else, and he's going to march through. And nobody took it seriously.
Foment violence, and then you're like, and then declare a state of martial law, and then just enact whatever things, and just take out the elections. I mean, it just feels like that was the whole idea. That was like, oh well, if you vote for, if this guy gets in there, he's not going to leave. And this is how you do it. And you look at, Nazi Germany to see these things, the parallels of like, this is what it looks like he's doing. And then every step as it goes on, it's like, this is what he is doing, and here's what the next step will be, and then that happens, and then here's the next step, and then that happens. And it's like the way that ended was a foreign, government coming in and, bombing the shit out of that country.
Well, that's what I was going to say, that everyone's like, well, these things pass. And I'm like, no, they don't. The only way that these things, the only thing that happens when these things have happened in the past is a whole nother country's military comes in and takes it out.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop on its own. It never does. It never, like it always, like, there's always there's economic threats from outside or military threats, or those threats actually happen. That's the way these things change. So I still don't understand how, like, when they're just like, whoa, we just got, $300 billion for ICE or whatever. I'm like, how did that happen? Wait, what? Like, this got okayed, and then you can just, when you get the money okayed, you can just give it to people. Like, I don't understand. Like, we could just be like, well, just buy a bunch of vests and get a bunch of people out there and start recruiting. We don't care who they are. Like, there's no rules to that. This just seems crazy. Like, there's so many rules to, like, get into the FBI, to get into the police force,
by design,
to get into all these.
Yeah, they don't want
all these places.
They don't want a well-trained,
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying is like
intentionally mistrained and hot-headed and poorly run organization on purpose, because that's what they want to have happen.
But what I'm saying is that there aren't any rules for, like, a national police force or whatever to like, the rules illegal. Don't have to get okayed by Congress. This is the crazy thing, is like, how is this? And then you realize, like, oh no, all these laws only run because people, like, stopped themselves from not going too far. Like, this zone, like, where these guys are just like, you guys, there's no one to arrest us. Like, why aren't we doing all these things? Like, there's no one checking, there's no one to arrest us, and we just have all the money. We just pay people, or we don't pay people, and we just start things and get it going so crazy that it's impossible to stop.
Yeah.
Like, it's like where all these people came from. You're like, oh my God, there's no way that you guys background checked all these people. You know how many background checks I had to go through just to be a substitute? I mean, you just did it. Yeah. You had to go through like 4 background checks.
Oh, yeah, no.
For everything, just to sub. Just a subclass.
Which is, again, I feel is fair. I'm not, I think
which you absolutely should.
Yeah. If you're going to be around children, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're going
this
to
isn't like carrying weapons
and kidnap children and detain innocent people, you would hope there'd be some.
Use your own private cars. Like, they don't even have cars.
They don't need to.
Like, they're using private cars. I think the thing with me, when you watch it, you're like, oh my God, all these dudes are LARPers that have gone on to, like, cosplay. Temu, like cosplay Amazon Temu dudes. And you look and you're like, you're wearing Adidas Gazelles. What is your problem? Like, this is crazy to me. Like, it's not even a full, like, you're working for this place. It's like, oh my God, we're going to give you all this money, but we're not going to back you up at all. I feel like it's obviously very Trumpian. It was like, you guys, we're going to give you all the power in the world, but we're not going to give you any support. I just can't wait till all these people get screwed by the administration, or like the paychecks stop coming in, and then all of a sudden all those dudes are out of work, and then you didn't work for 2 years. You're trying to get a job. I'm like, what did you do between 2025 and 2027? Like, well, I kind of was out and doing
private security,
this and pure. Yeah. And they're like, really? Can we talk to your boss?
Like,
well, there really wasn't a
time.
Boss.
They committed suicide in the bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully they all get screwed over. I mean, I think what I heard was that bonus thing, what they're like,
some kind of
they got a
bonus or
$50,000 bonus or whatever it was, but that it's $10,000 a year.
Oh.
But you have to work for the whole 5 years to get it. And if you quit, you have to give your bonus back. Yeah, so I hope that screws a bunch of them over. You know what I mean? So you get like
owe
10,000
them-
at the beginning of the year, but
$50,000 if you quit before 5 years.
if you so you get 10,000 a
if you
year,
grow a
and
consciousness and
if you
understand
quit
that
the
it's
third
wrong
year,
and it's illegal, and you don't
yeah,
want
if
to
you quit
arrest
the third
innocent
year,
people or kill children, you
yep, you have to give your 20 grand back, which
Great.
I hope happens. Oh my God, I hope happens,
Great.
and all those people go bankrupt.
Great.
And worse.
Horrible.
I just hope that they just, I do wish there were just like an overreaching morals that would come wash over people, maybe.
Some kind of come to Jesus moment, if you will, and just decide like this is not morally defensible in any way, shape, or form, no matter what religion
Well, the problem is
subscribe to or any kind of like hierarchical thinking. Like
all of those people think this is the come to Jesus moment. That's the problem.
Jesus,
it's just the American Jesus. It's like
people, right? Because that was Jesus's whole thing, right? Was
arresting people.
Yeah, arrest poor people and
definitely
and people who are not doing well, and maybe even if you're like outside of your your zone, your country, you're displaced, you have no money at the inn, you're pregnant, you have nowhere to give birth to a baby, you should arrest them and put them in concentration work camps.
And definitely separate the families.
Right.
I mean, like who would Jesus have been if he weren't separated from Mary and Joseph and put into a jail? You know what I mean? We don't really know the real, see the story of Jesus has been completely fabricated by this so-called book, the Bible. The real Jesus.
The thing that scares
Let me tell you about the real Jesus.
The thing that just scares me is like how shocked I am at my own sort of feelings, like how twisted this has become, where I feel like I'm using Jesus to defend my beliefs or some kind of like law and order, or isn't there rules? Isn't like, shouldn't the police be doing something about this? The feeling of like, I feel like most of my life I've been against organized religion and the police and all of these things. And yet here we are facing these things and like, yeah, but this is really bad.
but I feel like this is what the police should be for. And this, I think this is,
or even like,
always,
like, well, everybody better get guns and shoot these fuckers in the face. And like, wait, that's not me. I don't like that either. Like how things switched so fast,
yeah.
Like, okay.
I would edit that part out if you're going to put this on YouTube, by the way. Just do the little blank thing in the, you're going to get demonetized, Randy. No, but no, I think that this is always the problem, is that people think that the police should be used to harass middle class and poor people, and with little traffic stops and with showing up and making sure that homeless people aren't bothering you and whatever. Right. This is what people said. And you're like, okay, well, if we're going to have police that are supposedly protecting and serving, then this, and obviously I know how ridiculous this is. So I'm not being like oh my God, everybody should love each other, because I know that this is not how it happens. But I think the mental gymnastics that people do to go where you go like, no, like the law enforcement should be enforcing the laws from the top first and then get down to the bottom. That would fix everything. If you are actually like, if the law enforcement is mostly tasked on busting people for stealing money from poor people and from the middle class, and then Robin Hooding it back into the middle class and poor, we would have way less crime. That's 100% for sure. Like when people have enough money, when people just have enough money to live and they're not greedy, this is less crime, right? Like less street crime. Where the crime really happens is up on top. And so like, this is where the crime happens is with ICE getting $300 billion to go and harass poor people. That's crime. The crime is not the lady on the street that doesn't have a permit for her food cart, and so we're going to send her to Mexico. That's not crime. That's like a lady trying to make like a couple dollars and having a lot of rules against her. And also, that's like these are misdemeanors. Even if it is a crime, it's a ticket.
Yeah.
Like and this is what like the ICE thing when they're talking about
regardless, you still get due process. You still have your day in court.
100%.
You still have
100%.
You still have rights. You still have a right to an attorney. You have the right, to remain silent. Anything, anything you say will be. It's just the basic kind of habeas corpus of it all. Like you have your day in court, right? You're not just taken off the street and jailed indefinitely without trial and all of these kind of things.
Yeah.
That was a big talk I was having with our oldest son, and it was like, not that he was asking, I'm sure I was over dadding it out, but it was just that feeling of like, people, whether they have a visa or a passport or a driver's license or a birth certificate or anybody, if you're a person in America, you have inalienable rights. That's what this was all about. People, and you would expect, that's what always made America feel like the place to go to. That was what made people from other countries want to be here, is that, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, these kind of esoteric ideas of rights of man, we were all incorporated into this constitution that applied to everybody. And it no matter your race, your religion, your gender, all of these things. This was the big fight. This was the whole idea of, the kind of modus operandi of our, our 40 years on this earth, 50 years on this earth, was like, okay, this is how I understand America to be. And if that wasn't seen as, defended or enforced to the spirit of the law, to the letter, it was like, well, everybody deserves those things. And if they don't, it's because of discrimination, racism, systematic racism, all those things, and then you just see this whole thing kind of going on, and like, yeah, that goes against all of it. Like having a private police force that just routinely takes people off the street and sends them to other countries, or just detains
with no
them,
warrants,
all of
no
these
anything.
It's like, that's number one. That's the worst thing that could happen. That was beyond thinkable or reproach. That because you figure, hey, at least it's, if you get busted for doing something wrong, it's going to fuck your day up, but you get a lawyer and you go fight it. You figure out what it is, and the cop has to show, there's all these procedures, and there was a whole system. This thing is just bypassing all of that. And like, no, that wasn't I think we fought wars for this. This was what made America America. This was the right. This was the freedom that everybody was trying to defend, if not enforce or, forcefully give to other countries that didn't want it. This was this idea of the democracy, the shining city on the hill. We were the beacon of, of all of these rights. This Bill of Rights we had was supposed to encourage other people around the world. And then it wasn't perfect, but we had the checks and balances, and, the long arc of justice was long and slow, but it always arced towards justice. And, of all the horrible things in America's past, the idea was to improve upon this. And now this is just this hard kind of just shattering of so much of those ideals and things. It's just, and even as a teacher, as an educator, as somebody, while you're trying to explain what America is at its best and at its core, and then you just look at what's happening today, and it's like, there's nothing. This has nothing to do with that. This is in fact so many ways the opposite too. And that's where I think it's just funny when I look at how did I turn from, because even amongst the system, there's still things that weren't perfect, and you'd look for improvements and ways of calling out, racism and sexism and all of these things that were baked into the system. So, it's like I would protest against those things, but however, it wasn't get a private police force and start putting people in jail. That never crossed my mind as an option to fix systematic racism amongst the police force or in private jails. If we got,
turns out liberal, I don't think liberal thinking people think that way. They don't want people in jails all the time. They don't want people like, and people go like, well, you put the January 6 people in jail, and you're like, well,
there was violent insurrection.
There was a lot of
thing. And again, like,
I'm not
the biggest fan of the government, but I don't think we're supposed to go in there. This whole take a shit on someone's desk wasn't really going to change anything.
Yeah, it's also destruction of property, and you take what you get for that. And I guess,
but you flip it around and go, okay, well, if there was a left January 6th, that was, is that the thing that's going to change anything? And my intellectual brain says, no, that's the same thing. It's, you know what I mean?
Because none of that.
But my passionate, more, animalistic lizard brain goes, yeah, we gotta shit on their desk, yeah, but you realize like that doesn't fix anything. We've learned here. I think all of these
and that
on
was
the ICE
also
roster
like
should be documented, and all the crimes that they participate in be documented, and it should be prosecuted.
Yeah, the fact that they don't have badge numbers, and name tags is crazy. We're like how there's no way that is legal. Like the fact that the guy that shot the woman in Minneapolis just walked away on camera, and everyone's like, who are you? What's your name? And it was just like, no, I don't have to tell you. And like,
yeah,
okay, nope. And then can they just be pardoned? I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't think
there's a pardon. I don't think there was not a crime in their eyes. You know what I mean? There's nothing being prosecuted. And,
I mean,
and the
I
local
think that
law
stuff
enforcement
is eventually going to,
law
but
enforcement is being blocked by federal law enforcement from them to even like investigate.
I mean, they're really trying. They're really, really trying to get civil war in liberal states. That's it. Like they hit Canada, Minnesota, California.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to get Canada.
Yeah.
No, California, Minnesota, New York.
Provoke the left to fight back so they can call in the army or something.
Yeah, because they want people to come out with guns, and and you see what happened. Like the guy came out and had a gun on his hip and he got shot.
Oh yeah.
But Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like when he came out with his gun.
Well, that was defending property.
The other thing is,
you look at people versus property. You know what I mean?
But this is also you see where the police have always backed these right-leaning people. They always have. They haven't. I'm not saying that they're always like right-leaning people like the police, but they always give the benefit of the doubt to these righty, like super, like right wing, like the Proud Boys and all those. They always gave them so much space
because they were the same. Because they were them. Because the difference between the Proud Boys and the police is none.
And so now,
you can't find the difference. There's no difference. Yeah.
And so now, when the police, when they
looking at ICE, it's the same idea. Yeah.
When they're looking at it and like, I can't believe these ICE guys are coming into our communities. And I'm like, why? Of course you can, because the system, and it's not the individual cops, but the system of policing allows this kind of thing because it isn't protecting the group of individuals who are being affected, which is poor people. Just poor, middle class, underprivileged, for racially, sexually, like all of those things, sexuality, that all of those people get harassed. And just always, like I remember when we lived in Altadena and going through all of the protests over George Floyd and everything, and hearing the stories of the people who are now adults who lived in Altadena through the 70s, 80s, and 90s as kids would get picked up by the cops. Everyone had this story. They'd get picked up by the cops to be like, what are you guys doing? They would go over, make sure they didn't have anything on them, whatever. They'd put them in the back of their squad car. They'd drive them into the forest and drop them off and make them walk home at night. Multiple people had this story when they were teenagers doing nothing, right? In a middle class neighborhood outside of LA, black neighborhood. And the cops would come up, didn't live there, but that was their beat. And they would do that. They would drop these kids off. And so many of them were like, yep, that happened to me multiple times. And if you know that area, like in the San Gabriel's right there, it's crazy at night, right? You're like 2-3 miles away from anything, no street light, no anything. You're on hiking trails at night with no lights. And the kids are like, yeah, it was crazy,
gross
misconduct. And so when you have that kind of a system, obviously this is a huge generalization, but when you have those kind of systems, then when ICE comes in and you still don't protect your community from ICE and you go, hey, we just have to do what we have to do. And then you go, oh, yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
You know? And it's tough because you feel for all these kids, you feel for the adults, you feel for everybody who's here. What are they saying? Like 2% of the people who've been picked up have any kind of record, let alone let alone a felony or something. You know, it's not like people that like escaped from prison. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the show. Right. We could talk about last week's episode with interview with Josh Abrams, man. But yeah, I just feel like it's worth talking about because I just can't. I
agree.
I can't stomach it. You know,
It's
and
tough,
I know everyone's thinking about it. And if it's a bummer, I apologize. If this is too much of a talking about what's going on right now, it's just where we're at. It feels like it has to be talked about in one way, shape, or another. I can't feel. I won't feel good talking publicly on the air and not addressing it, or at least just mulling it over out loud, because it just feels like it's so much just living in there. That being said, Joshua Abrams was an awesome guest. I was not familiar with Natural Information Society prior to interviewing him. He was somebody that was pitched through like a PR person, and I listened to it and I was like, this is great. I really dug the music, and then I liked his story, and being from Chicago and kind of incorporating all these great world music instruments and what he's doing, and then once we started talking, that low voice he had, I was like, oh, this is cool. He plays the bass. He sounds like the bass. He's a low register person.
Yeah, I love the fact that he started with like playing with the guys from the Roots.
Yes,
which is crazy,
right? Yeah. But it sounds like
cool.
Early,
like that came out of that came out of nowhere. Like they went to high school together or whatever.
Yeah,
and I was like, wait. I rewound it. I was like, did he say that like Questlove and Tariq from the Roots? Well, that's crazy. Okay, that's a good place to start. I feel.
Yeah,
just some dudes who are on there, but to go from that to then to become like kind of an ambient musician.
Yeah,
doing ambient compositions is like a
different journey.
A whole different journey. But yeah, I listened to it a bit. It's great. It was great for my drive.
Oh,
it was very like hypnotic and like super repetitive and cool. That instrument that he plays is crazy sounding.
Yeah.
The bass kind of.
I don't even know what it's called.
3-string.
I won't remember what it is, but yeah. I know. That's why I felt kind of ignorant, because I am. I didn't know anything about the type of instruments he was playing and what he was doing, but I think he did a great job humoring me and describing what it was and explaining it all, because it sounds cool. I mean, that's kind of where I will.
Yeah.
From not knowing anything to like, oh, cool. This sounds
well, and I liked it. The idea of him taking those old like traditional instruments and then running them through pedals and kind of like distorting them and using delay and using all this kind of modernizing the sound, but you still would hear that sound. Like if I didn't hear the interview first, it is is that a bass? Is there like a drum in there, like
or something? Yeah,
some kind of wind instrument, or like is there a bongo, like a djembe or something? Like it just has all of these kind of like sounds to it that it was awesome.
Yeah. It's a funny one. I find myself, always kind of not at odds, but just always curious and annoyed with the idea of like world music, quote unquote. I feel like a product of the 90s, when there was this kind of exploitative kind of like, ooh, it's meditation, Yanni, or Paul Simon Graceland, kind of this thing of like, it was a very kind of white, yuppie 90s middle class world music vibe. And I feel like I rebelled against that, but then embraced but the music I would hear that I would like, I'm like, oh, this is great. But I instantly I put my guard up whenever I hear something like, oh,
yeah,
what are you doing? Are you using Middle Eastern instruments and putting effects on them? Okay. Is there like a techno beat in there too, or hip hop break beats? And I'm just like, I don't know. This could go really bad really quick. But when it's done well, it's beautiful. and I find pockets of
Yeah.
things that really speak to me, and I'm like, oh, this music I love. This is amazing. But that was almost something about the reinterpretation or the colonialization of some of the sounds into some other purpose. But that was not Joshua's thing at all.
No, it was definitely, you could see why he chose the certain instruments to like fit into the pockets of the sound of the music.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome.
It was great.
Yeah. I was stoked.
And I love that.
Yeah.
That he said he plays with Theaster Gates. He's like one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, I didn't know he played
Chicago.
Music. That's what, I think I know him more from like art world stuff.
Yeah, he does these performances. Yeah, he does performances where he's like brought in like choirs and different musical, like just infused music into the spaces that he creates, I think, and using music as kind of like a place to or as a way to like energize these spaces that he creates, and also to bring people in. Like I think we went and saw him do a talk at UCLA, but before the whole talk, for the first 15 minutes, it was just music, and it was these guys like singing and harmonizing and kind of making sounds and beats and a lot of like stomping and clapping, and just to like energize the whole thing to get everything going. And it was amazing. It just like put everybody in this like this very relaxed trance at the beginning. It was very much like, oh, this is the vibe. Okay. And started it that way, and then his talk went on afterwards. But
oh, that's cool.
But then he talked about how he uses music for kind of a lot of different purposes. But yeah, it was cool. It was great. I was like, oh, those are two things to check your resume.
Yeah,
that are like,
you started with the roots,
so you're
and
starting
with Theaster Gates.
Yeah. Theaster Gates, and so you did everything. So you've done it all. So, great.
Yeah, you won. You won the world. Way to go.
Even my dog agrees. Yes. Olive, stop.
Give it up. Yeah, well, that's cool. Yeah, Natural Information Society. Yeah, new records, but tons of back catalog stuff too. And definitely worth following online if you haven't followed them. They're a lot of fun. It's like good stuff.
It was good. I put it on my list of things to listen to this week.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Like I said, when I was listening to your interview, and then I was headed home, and so I was going up the hill, and I put his music on, and I was like, oh, this is good. This is a good way to get into the vibe of like getting to work.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's one of those funny things, like, 90% of the people I talk to are people I've already known, or that I'm directly in touch with. But then there's this off chance that I'll get pitched to things by usually music PR people, and I listen to it all. That's what I'm always telling people, if you have a band or a project or something you're doing, email us, hyphenate@gmail.com, or find me on Instagram @RandySRandall. Find Aaron @Aaron Farley. Reach out to us. Let us know what you're doing, because I listen to everything, and I check it out, and I'm not a harsh critic, but I'm honest, about it. If I like it, I'll say, let's do it. Let's set it up. It's great. If I don't, then I'm like, well, it's like, thanks for sending it to me. But you can't talk to everybody.
I don't think this will fit in.
But the things I do love, I'm always stoked to make time and talk to people and hear the story. So we're very easily, gotten to, if you're curious.
Reach out.
You can find us here. Yeah, we're not really in an ivory tower, but I'll give everything a listen. That's
not yet.
I can promise that. But I really dug it. We've left off in our dystopian police state. The movie marathon that we started this year. I think we fucked it up last week. But what did we watched? Demolition Man.
Man.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're switching gears. I feel like I need music bumpers to go between the subject or between these like themes. We need this maybe I can put that in the soundboard too. I'll have a soundboard for the opening bullshitting about working kids, and then talking about the review of the interview, and then the whatever ongoing cultural review we're having. Demolition Man. What the fuck?
Yes. Dude. Okay, so I haven't seen this movie so none of these movies. I have never watched any of these movies twice, I
It's
don't think.
amazing.
No, I
Oh
don't
my
think
God.
so.
Even all the
So
bad
I
movies
hadn't seen
I
it
would
forever.
watch so many times.
Oh my God. You're such a better movie watcher than I am
I
now.
just think I really had nothing else to do for a long time.
I don't know. I think you're very interested in
I
movies.
am. It's true.
I love your because I love your you always I'm like you're like, oh, that movie. Here's the 5 people that acted in it. Here's the director. Do you want me to tell you where they shot all the scenes?
I can tell you. We can talk about
Yeah.
that.
So you have much more of like a
But I tried to build a
focused
context when I
movie.
can. I don't know who
Yes.
directed Demolition Man, though. You say that, and it's funny. I was already thinking, like, who directed Demolition Man? I'm sure people are
Yeah,
screaming
look it up.
in their cars right now. Everyone says they know who this is.
Yes.
One of my favorite Sly Stallone directors, though, is the Greek one. Oh God, why am I? He did First Blood Part 2. And he had one of the best like voices for God, for the director commentary. Has this really low voice and this very thick Greek accent. Anyway.
Okay.
But anyway,
I don't know.
This is Marco Brambilla in his directorial debut. I think what was happening a lot is Sylvester Stallone, would write a lot of his films. And then he, especially in the height of his power, would get these kind of like straw man directors who could do the directing, but they were also like, he could also push them around. And
so that he could kind of be a co-director kind of.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Sylvester Stallone definitely used his like star power to get what he wanted. And I think having, these not really well-known directors or like auteur directors, he was able to sort of push his own agenda through them. So that's probably what this sounds like. Marco Brambiglia's directorial debut. What else has he done? I don't know. I can't figure this out.
Not much.
No. No. Oh, he's like an artist. He has public installations kind of thing. Okay, that's kind of fun.
Oh, wow.
He only did 2 Demolition Man and Sync was in 2005. So yeah, he kind of. It's interesting. I wonder
how Sync 2005.
Yeah, SYNC is his second film in 2005.
That would be 8 years apart from each other.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. Maybe he's more interested. Maybe
more than that. 12 years apart.
He looks like he's more like a video artist or something, but that's not really what's happening in this movie at all, right?
I thought the movie was good.
Okay. Tell me about it.
I was ready for it to just be another like, oh, okay, it's gonna have like a RoboCop, like oh, this will be good, but it's gonna be gory and it's gonna be, but this was definitely on that like the 90s internet feel, but without talking about like I don't know. I don't even know where to start. I feel like it was
because George Cosmatos. That's the Greek director I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
For First Blood Part 2. He's insane.
Yeah,
but he was kind of a straw man director. Anyway, okay, yeah, go on.
Well, and because it got me to thinking that the early 90s. There was the vibe, like everybody could feel the internet was starting, right? Like it was public. It was becoming more public. It wasn't just like the Usenet
well, this is
or whatever.
93, so
1993.
So we're not really into the net, the Sandy Bullock net film yet. That's later, but just a few years later.
But 93 was the. Let's see, the first year that I learned about the internet, which was like chat boards and stuff, because my roommate was going on like chat boards and all that kind of stuff. And then, so I do feel like at that point, everyone's like, we need to figure out what the future is going to be like. Like we're now having like a very specific digital future in mind for our movies, right? Like because this is pre the internet, because people don't really know what the internet is. So, because this thing didn't even mention the internet. Like Demolition Man doesn't talk about the internet or the web or anything like that. This is like 1 year before that.
It's set in 2032. So in just a few.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Which is only 6 years away.
Yeah. Right. But the first part of it, was set in 1996.
Only 3 years
I
from
think,
when it came out.
right? Like when he gets when he gets put in ice or whatever.
And the Hollywood sign is 1996. Burning and the whole all of LA is over with.
Yeah.
It kind of the timeline doesn't exactly work.
No, it's a little weird.
Fine. Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that don't quite work. But
not from Marco Brambilia. Come on, this is you can't disparage this auteur.
I have a vision. Yeah. I have a vision. I have a vision.
Yeah.
But what I thought that it actually got really right was the like Brave New World kind of the cops will take over for safety, and then the idea is that
this is the future calling you.
Sorry,
the future is calling.
Oh my God, it's ice. No.
John Spartan is calling.
John Spartan, stop talking. They just let me out. But that this idea of safety being the number one thing that we're all trying to get. Like everyone's trying to be safe. And I think that is.
You think they got that wrong?
Well, what I was going to say is that this is what all of the Palantir assholes and Elon Musk and everything, when you're listening to those interviews, they're like, their whole thing, and I know they don't believe this. I know they're like completely just, it's all marketing and it's all that. But that their whole thing is like, we are trying to stop crime. We're trying to make everybody safe. And think of how safe it would be if there were just cameras everywhere and we're monitoring. So, of course, nobody is going to do anything wrong. This is literally what's happening right now.
Yeah.
But it's literally what those people are saying, which is crazy to me that people are taking them seriously. Like people are interviewing them and going, well, what do you mean by that? And not just going, what?
Didn't you see Demolition Man?
Yeah. Can we just take you? Can we arrest you though? Because you seem like the fucking problem.
Have you never watched a sci-fi movie from the 90s?
Right.
I read a sci-fi book from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. Well, and also her last name, Sandra Bullock's last name was Huxley.
Sure.
So I think this is like a Aldous Huxley reference. I loved that when there is no, like when everybody is safe, that everybody just like, we talk like robots. Everything is fantastic. This is great. I thought that was like a real weird vibe, but I did like
wipe
the
your
fact
ass with
that
3 seashells.
Right. And that Steve, or what's his name? Who is it?
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. Oh my God, that was a weird one. I was like, is that Rob Schneider? How did Rob Schneider get in this? It's weird. But that the fact that she just kind of followed along with a smile, I thought was kind of really interesting because of the fact that she was watching him do all these kind of quote unquote real things. And she was I thought her character was actually really great because it was almost like she was watching the whole thing on TV. Like she was just coming along for the ride. And she's
real.
Like,
the murder, death, kill.
Wow, this is crazy. And look, like murder, death, kill. Like, what are you doing? And then it didn't seem real. And I did feel like that is how it feels now.
What do you mean?
That we're all watching this crazy stuff happen, like ice and all this. And you look at it and go, this doesn't feel real. I feel like we are all watching it. Not all of us, but mostly we're seeing this stuff on a screen, on TV or whatever. And you're like, and we are in this place where so much stuff that we see on the screen now that we do have to check it and go, is this AI? Is this real? What's real? Is the person that's talking, are they saying something real, or did someone AI this? Did someone make Mike Pence say this thing and it's not even real? Like, how do I even look this up? Do I look it up? When I look it up, AI is telling me what my search, what I just searched. And like, is AI telling me that the AI thing is real? Like, there is that like kind of I don't know what's real. Wow, what is happening? And you look like everything that's not happening to you in real life, which obviously like your day to day when you're out in the world, we have the ability to hopefully say what's real and what's not. But then even these other people, when they're watching these people, bring it back to ICE, you're watching them beat people up and take people and move them into cars. And you have hundreds of people out there going, is it okay if we do something? Can we do something? What happens if we do something? Like if we do something, is this going to set off such a huge other thing that none of us want to be responsible for setting off a civil war or something? And like because you're watching these videos and these guys just go in, grab people, put them in like a Cadillac in their running shoes. And then they are like, just get away from us. And then they leave and everyone just goes, wait, what is happening? Yeah. And I did feel like this movie actually was like that. It was very much like
passive
that.
In the future.
Like all the police were just watching and they were like, we have no reason for police to be in Los Angeles today or whatever it was. And like, or San Angeles or whatever it was. And they're like, there is no need for police presence. And they're like, we can watch all the videos. Nothing's happening. And I did. So that to me was kind of the serious part where I was like, wow, I kind of nailed it. They were a couple of years late.
Yeah.
they kind of got the vibe of the like we're all watching screens and going, I guess everything's fine. Everything's fine, right? We got our funny hats on and kind of walking around and everybody's
pay no attention,
being nice, kind of pretending to be nice to each other, but everybody's also like so ready for something to happen that they're like, I don't know, are we ready for this? So that's the serious part. The other part is that they brought up that Schwarzenegger was president from. They were like, oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger's president, which is crazy. And I was like, well, he was governor. And then I looked, I'm like, no, he didn't become governor for 10 more years.
Yeah.
He didn't come governor until 2003. And so that was like, that's a weird one. And then they started using for they used the term weapons of mass destruction when they were talking about the guns. And I'm like, wow, that's 10 years before they started using weapons of mass. But then I looked it up, and weapons of mass destruction was actually a term from World War II. So,
okay.
So then I was like, okay, maybe that's not. But I did think the Schwarzenegger thing was a little weird.
Oh yeah.
And there were a lot of like
things.
There were some like Rambo, like he called him like, okay, Rambo, like all this stuff.
Yeah. There was also the franchise wars that we famously lived through, and we all heard about the Taco Bell is the only thing to eat.
Taco Bell won
the franchise wars. No need to eat any other shitty food.
I mean, they're not that wrong because one company owns almost all of the franchises, right? Other than McDonald's, and now some of the other ones are starting, but
Yum Food Brands is pretty large in that sector. Yeah, I think they
own almost all of them, right?
What is it? A Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell. I've seen those combos. Was there and Pepsi?
Yeah.
I think they're Pepsi as well.
Pepsi. I feel like Burger King was in one of those. Anyway.
Yeah, Yum Food Brands. Oh yeah.
Well,
Doritos.
We still have 9 more years, so
okay, they could still get it all.
Is it that much?
What do we got? We got KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Habit.
Okay.
Habit Burger. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. What are they? Yeah.
Well, I guess they didn't win yet, but
they're on their way.
We got a couple more years.
Only 55,000 fast food locations in 155 countries.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
55. What's 55,000 locations?
What are you going to do?
It's no wonder none of those places have to make money. Do you ever go into one of those places and you're like,
no one's here.
It's 4:00 in the afternoon. There's no one here, and there's 3 people working. Like, how is this place making any money? Like, turns out they're not. They don't have to. It doesn't. Nothing has to work. It's all like you said before. It's like it's probably they own the property.
Oh right, yeah.
That they're on, and they own the building, and it's just like a real estate. It's really a real estate venture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happy. We're fine, right?
Everything's fine,
right?
Fine. Well, I sent you a video about the 5/1s. Or what was it? 4? What did we call it? 3/1, 5/1. The retail things and
the retail things.
That nobody. The guy was just saying nobody wants these. No one is going to live there. No businesses are going to survive in the retail space, and and then all of the condos will just be a place for larger corporations or Chinese investor groups to just plant their money in LA real estate. Because it's a safer, more stable bet for growth of investment, for profits. So you just buy up all these condos in a weird building, and no one has to live in it. And then the retail doesn't have to work because they sold everything already, and it's fine. It's just going to sit there.
You pay your taxes and
actually, no one uses it.
You know what? I found out an interesting thing about property taxes.
Oh yeah.
This is just from a guy, so we'll see if this is true or not. But it was an interesting thing.
Guy. Okay.
According to
cider sources.
But he is kind of like a real estate guy.
Sure.
But he said because I was asking, or we were talking about, the investment in like whatever commercial investment, and he was like, well, you don't get in trouble for not paying your taxes for 5 years for commercial. This is not. Do not quote me on any of this, but so what a lot of the big companies do is they wait till the 5th year and then they pay the first year. So they're like, well, you got one more year. And so then they pay the first year, then they pay the first year. So they're paying 1 year at a time, but they go the first 4 years without paying any property taxes. And even if there's a little fee or whatever, they're like, it's so much money, it doesn't matter. And then if they sell the building, the person that buys the building has to pay the property taxes to get the, it has to, there's you go like, well, there's taxes owed. Yeah. So I'm just going to charge you the taxes owed or whatever. And he's like, that's how they get that's how they get out of paying for all of these taxes on these huge properties, is that they just like forego the taxes for years. And then they just pay whatever they're like, oh, we're going to charge you an extra 1%. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not paying it anyway. So yeah, I was like, oh, these are all fun things that I love hearing. Makes me so happy that I actually like pay my taxes on time. I don't have any, I pay all of my stuff and they're like, oh, silly. Why would you do that? You got to crank up a bunch of debt and then hopefully at some point get someone else to pay for it. That's the way to go. It's the American way, my friend. America.
All right. Well, we did it.
That's great. But yes,
we solved all
Demolition
the
Man. I thought
you recommend it.
Go watch Demolition Man. Yeah,
sure. Why not?
There was so much to suspend disbelief on, like everything, pretty much the whole movie. But Wesley Snipes is great.
Yes,
he was awesome.
He's having fun. He knows what movie he's in.
Oh yeah. Is Wesley Snipes still with us?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Yeah. He appeared 2 years ago in the Wolverine Deadpool film, resurrecting his character Blade.
Oh, right.
He's still around.
Right. How was that? Oh, I need to watch Blade.
There's 3 Blades. Ryan Reynolds was in the 3rd Blade. Deadpool Wolverine is great.
Yeah.
You have a teenage son. I mean, does he enjoy film?
I guess we need to watch it.
I think so. Yeah,
We've watched the first Deadpool.
Oh,
Did you
like that?
Yeah. And the second one was like the PG version, right? Wasn't there like the first one was pretty heavy, and then I feel like they put one out that was kind of PG, but the joke was that it was.
That might have been just a weird cut or something. That might have been something. No, the second one's R as well, but we got Josh Brolin in it.
Okay.
And he does some time traveling, and then in the 3rd one he does like interdimensional multiverse traveling through it. And,
of course,
it sort of works well. Hugh Jackman's good. Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, again, I think my dude was 10, so as from a 10-year-old mindset, it was great. The suspension of disbelief is all you can do. You know what I mean? But again, it doesn't take much to put me over with action scenes and popcorn. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I just showed him John Wick 2 for the first time, which was a fun moment and a father-son bonding, situation. Have you guys watched John Wick?
How do you like it?
Have you watched this?
No.
Oh my God. They're great.
I know. We talked about it. You and I talked about my favorite that I need to watch John Wick.
The John Wicks are great. I saw the third one first because I think the first one came out as pretty under the radar, and then the second one came out and I think did really well. But again, I was kind of like, feels like a UFC bro kind of thing. I don't know if I'm feeling this. And then with the third one, I was getting the sense like, oh, this is actually worth watching. So I went to the theater by myself, whatever year that was, pre-pandemic probably. And went and saw that. And it was like a skate video. It's like a demo reel. And then I understood what was happening is it's these stuntmen, his stunt team from the Matrix, went on to become then stunt coordinators and then, second unit directors and then became directors. And this was the pitch, we're going to make a stunt vehicle. The stuntmen are now the directors and writers of this thing. They wrote or directed it. And so they just said, we're just going to create a stunt reel and put Keanu in all the scenes where he's got to say like, okay, and stand there. We'd stand there after everything, gets punched and killed and blown up. Then the camera whips around and you see Keanu's face. And then it goes back into another scene where he's chopping people's arms off and shooting guys under helmets and two in the head, one in the chest, and they created a thing called gun kata, where it's like karate with guns. So they're shooting at each other like this and flipping around through the air. And then it's just a stunt reel. And then when the stunt ends, he whips his hair back. He's got blood coming down his face and he's like, I think I'm back. Okay, let's go to the next place. It's time to go to the next for the cut scene in between the video game moments. You have Keanu Reeves in your cut scenes in your video game, and then he gets attacked by a faceless group of people, and those are all the same people that he just defeated in the last one, but now they have different masks on. They have wearing different things, and then they're in a different like light reflected room or mirrors, or there's neon bouncing off of all these floor like mirrors with like water reflections on them. So it becomes this big wash of color and violence and kind of the surreal reality of the whole thing. And it's gorgeous and it's fast and it's music happening and all these things. And then, but it's not him. They have bulletproof like suits. They have these like tailored like Armani Italian looking suits that are somehow bulletproof, and they just like go around shooting guns at each other's faces, and he never really dies. He gets hurt but he never dies. He drives cool cars. He whips the car around. He's got no door on it, and he hits a guy uses the car, this like whatever 70s Charger, like whips it around and runs people over with it. The car is the weapon. It's fantastic.
It's amazing.
All of it. It's great.
I love it.
No, and the third one opens with he's on a horse and all the ninjas are riding motorcycles over the Brooklyn Bridge at night. So if that tells you what the suspension of the disbelief, or whatever it is like, oh, okay, I get it. And then he breathes for 5 minutes and finds Halle Berry with a dog, and he's in the desert now, and then he's got to kill people in the desert, and he's got to kill people in a church, and he's got to kill people in a bank vault, and he kills people in a modern art building, and it's great.
Yeah.
So once I understood that was the third one, because it was like, oh, cool. It's like a skate video. We're like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Then they ramp up to the big ender, like, oh, it was cool. And then like they come down, there's a little music, a little skit, a little thing here. He talks like, oh, I was a kid. Oh, I had this medallion, my wife. Or he doesn't even say things. He just like looks at pictures of things. And like, oh, again, I've just, Keanu Reeves is such a blank face. You just cut to him in anything. And it's just like, whoa. He's like, oh.
Wow.
Just kind of moving. I have to vocalize because as a vocal thing, but he probably says 10 words.
That's what you're seeing him say, but he's not saying it.
Well, I'm an FBI agent. I think after that line, there's like, no, just look like you're an FBI agent. Don't say I'm an FBI agent. Just give the look with your FBI jacket on, and we'll know what you're really thinking is, oh, I'm an FBI.
But it wouldn't be the same thing.
Agent. Oh, it's great. He just does. Yeah,
I love him.
They don't get him to talk. And he does, I guess he does some stunts, but it's a lot of it, just cut away. It's great. So
what a life.
So I saw the third one and I was like, okay, I got to go back and see the first of them. And I saw 1 and 2, and then 4 came out at some point. And I was like, okay, you just got to see that. But I think that my favorites, probably 3, 2, 1, and 4. That's the order of I enjoyed them in.
All right. Well,
for anybody who's curious about that kind of thing.
I have a lot of watching to do.
Yeah, but it's fun. But so the idea, because I guess he did so much like that in that Matrix film. Obviously, that was such a huge success. But I think all the stunt guys in that were like they all bonded over those 3 Matrix movies, and it just kept. And he just made more and more money as those went on. I think he bought them all like Harleys, at the end of the sequel or something. Like they were just bonded,
sure.
like his brothers from that. And so then whatever, 10 years later, or no, who knows, 5 years later, whatever from whenever the last Matrix was, these guys figured out like, oh, okay, cool. We're just going to make our own movie. The other cool movie that's like that is Hooper. It's Burt Reynolds from the 80s. It was his stunt double.
Yes.
Got worked his way up in the directing racket, and then he was living on Burt Reynolds' couch. And he's like, I got an idea for a movie. Like, we should play a stunt guy, and we'll just do all these great stunts. We'll just put all the cool stunts because he was his stunt driver for the Smokey and the Bandit movies, and if you had to do a fight or whatever, he always doubled him for everything. And then he's like, let's just make a movie of all the great stunts we do, and you'll be the stunt guy, and we'll just call it like it is. And it's just great. And again, it's just a big spectacle of 70s stunts of guys falling off things and getting punched through candy glass windows and big things.
That's amazing.
And it's kind of almost like what the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sort of relationship is like. I feel like this is sort of well documented in that film of the big star, the big aging star, and his stunt guy. In that relationship they have. So they
I tried to watch that film again.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? No?
Yeah.
How far do you get? The Bruce Lee fight?
I got through it once.
Okay.
The first time I did not like it. And then I don't think I'm a Quentin Tarantino guy. I think we've talked about this. I'm like, I don't believe him.
No. It's not about belief. It's about being cool.
Yeah.
Like, but do you feel cool?
No.
Everyone just is doing their.
But we tried to. We're like, you know what? I'm going to give it another try. And we got like halfway through. They got to the Bruce Lee part and then some of the other stuff, and I was like, I don't know.
The ending
again. All the feet. Too many feet. Too many bare feet.
A lot of feet.
Oh, feet in the window again. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Those are all correct observations.
I just remember the oh my God. Uma Thurman's daughter's name is who was in Stranger Things. Maya Hawke. I feel like she was interviewed.
Oh,
because she was doing like a Quentin Tarantino thing, and Uma Thurman just told her like, just don't let him near your feet.
Just keep your shoes on.
Like that.
Don't take your shoes off.
Keep your shoes on. Oh, what a creep. Okay,
that's it.
Anyway,
that's it. All right, everybody, have a good week. What are we going to watch next week? What's on our list?
Oh, God.
Starship Troopers.
What was the other one that I was gonna watch?
Total Recall.
The Total Recall.
Yeah.
I realized that I was gonna watch Total Recall, and then I went and I had pre-bought when I was on my trip.
Demolition Man.
I had pre-bought Demolition Man instead, and then I was like, well, looks like I'm watching Demolition Man because I have 3 days left to watch this one before I get charged.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I would say skip Total Recall and go to Starship Troopers because that probably says more about our current state of the world.
What's going on right now?
And,
okay.
Yeah.
And we can do more political rants next week.
A stinging indictment of weird, violent patriotism and the othering of the victim. You know what I mean? In this way of like, I can't believe in this, in 2026, we're still using the term illegal alien. Like just how fucked that is. I think the Starship Troopers film deals almost directly one-to-one with that idea. So
okay, good.
And then right, and then Facing the Crowd. Then we should finish off. We'll finish off the month with Elia Kazan's 1950s masterpiece, Facing the Crowd. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And definitely, try to, if you can get if your kids will watch black and white, if they can stand a black and white one, they may find it impactful. So okay. Have a good week.
I could get Lila to watch it for sure.
Yeah, you're good. Okay. See ya.
You too.
Bye.